Take a look at this screen. It isn't glamorous. It isn't the next big cryptocurrency, it's not a trendy dropshipping product, and it certainly isn't going to get you a million views on TikTok. In fact, it is arguably one of the most boring sites in the corporate world. But what if I told you that the problem hidden inside this mundane spreadsheet is currently funding a quiet, highly lucrative corner of the internet? Right now, there are ordinary people with zero coding experience building hidden operations that solve this exact problem, generating hypothetical, yet highly realistic, revenues of $800 a day. But before you click off thinking this is another empty promise, let me be clear. Revenue is not profit. This is not guaranteed income, and most people who attempt this fail miserably. So, what exactly is this boring business? Why would massive companies gladly hand over thousands of dollars a month to a 20-something with a laptop? Where does AI actually create the advantage? And can someone without a computer science degree realistically pull this off? Let's find out. When most people try to start a business, they fall into the sexy trap. They chase businesses that look cool on Instagram. But human psychology is built entirely on expectations versus reality. And the reality of business is that companies don't care about what's trendy. They only care about removing friction and increasing margins. Large companies suffer from a fatal flaw in the AI era. When a massive agency tries to adopt a new tool, it requires committee meetings, security reviews, and retraining terrified staff. They move slowly. This is where the opportunity lies for the solo operator. But to understand it, we need to look at a highly specific, painful problem that businesses face every single day: B2B lead enrichment and data processing. Imagine a mid-sized software company. They have a sales team that needs to reach out to 5,000 potential clients this month. But there's a massive problem. The data they buy is a mess. Half the emails bounce, the company sizes are wrong, and reaching out with a generic "Dear Sir, Madame" guarantees the email goes straight to the spam folder. Traditionally, how does a company solve this? They throw human labor at it. For decades, small and medium-sized businesses relied on traditional agencies or full-time hires for operational tasks. They might hire an agency on a $5,000 to $8,000 monthly retainer to manually qualify leads, research LinkedIn profiles, and draft personalized outreach. It is slow, it is expensive, and humans hate doing it because it is soul-crushing work. Enter the solo founder. The solo operators who are quietly taking over this space don't sell software subscriptions. Instead of selling tools, they sell outcomes. They walk into that same software company and say, "You are paying an agency $8,000 a month and waiting weeks for clean data. I will build an automated system that does it instantly, 24/7, for a $3,000 monthly retainer." How are they fulfilling this without a team of developers? By using visual workflow builders combined with large language models, a single operator can build an intelligent system that completely replaces manual agency work. They use platforms like Make.com to trigger an action when a new lead enters the database. The system sends the lead's website to an AI agent, which reads the website, summarizes what the company does, finds the CEO's name, and drafts a highly personalized email. This is the invisible labor force. A single operator isn't doing the work of 10 people. They are directing a machine that does the work of 10 people. But this is where the math gets interesting. How do we actually arrive at that $800 a day figure? $800 a day translates to roughly $24,000 a month. To hit that, you don't need millions of customers. You don't need to go viral. You only need 8 clients paying a $3,000 monthly retainer. For a company doing $5 million a year in revenue, a $3,000 operational expense to completely fix their sales pipeline is a bargain. But remember, revenue is not profit. What are the expenses here? In a traditional agency, if you scale to 8 clients, you have to hire more staff. Your overhead scales with your revenue. But for the solo operator, the cost curve of labor has completely collapsed. The solo founder secures their retainer in nearly pure profit because their cost of goods sold is primarily just the cost of API tokens. If you are processing 10,000 leads a month through OpenAI's API, your technical cost might be $150. Add in your software subscriptions, Make.com, a CRM, maybe some scraping tools, and your total monthly overhead might sit around $400. You are operating a B2B service business with 90% plus gross margins. At this point, it sounds like a cheat code. String some nodes together, charge $3,000, and retire to a beach. But there's one problem nobody mentions. The truth is, the shadow economy is littered with the corpses of failed projects. And the reason they fail is what we call the chaos trap. Most beginners try to automate a business process they don't actually understand. They watch a tutorial, buy a subscription to Make.com, link ChatGPT to an email account, and expect it to magically close sales. But you cannot automate what you have not mastered manually. As one operator recently put it, a lot of solo founders try to automate chaos and then blame the tool when it produces faster chaos. It's like giving a 16-year-old intern your keys and calling it a COO. The people who are successfully capturing corporate profits are the ones who deeply understand the underlying work. They know exactly how a lead becomes a sale, and they know exactly what makes a marketing email convert. They aren't relying on AI to magically invent a business. They are using AI to relentlessly scale a process they already know works. How to validate without going broke. So, if you are a beginner with zero technical background, how do you actually start without falling into the chaos trap? You start manually. Before you try to pitch a $3,000 retainer, find a local business, a real estate agency, an accounting firm, or a specialized recruiter. Ask them what their most boring, repetitive data task is. Offer to fix it for free for 1 week. Do not use AI initially. Do it by hand. Understand the friction. Once you understand the exact steps required to get the right outcome, then you build the automation. You map the human logic to the machine logic. Once you have a case study proving you saved a company 20 hours of labor in a single week, you no longer have to sell anything. You are simply trading time for money at an arbitrage rate that favors you. When the cost of executing tasks drops to near zero, the premium shifts entirely to taste, speed, and distribution. We are entering an era where the most valuable skill you can possess is not writing code, but identifying inefficiencies. People will always chase the loud, trendy, exciting businesses. They want the flash. But while everyone else is fighting for scraps in highly saturated consumer-facing markets, there is a quiet revolution happening in the back offices of the business world. Companies don't pay for excitement, they pay for solved problems. AI is not going to simply eliminate giant companies. It's going to splinter them. It's going to allow thousands of tiny, highly agile operators to quietly siphon off pieces of their profit, one automated workflow at a time. The boring business is exactly where the money is hiding. The only question is whether you're willing to do the unglamorous work to uncover it. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.